Hi chaps, TMD in the building. We are doing the final stages. We're getting there, guys, with the Rappoon. Thanks for you guys that have made some comments. Big shout going out to Dave, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and the rest of the guys on Facebook, Instagram that have been following this build. Big props to you guys. Thanks so much. You've all kept me motivated for this build. So today we're in like the kind of like final touches phase kind of with this kit. So there's a few things that I'm gonna show you guys since the last video. I didn't really bother making a whole video on how to cut things and I don't know, it's you know, I'll tell you what to do. I don't really need to show you how to do it. I'm sure you're all capable of using a pair of cutters and stuff. So basically with mat kits you'll find that they will have some kind of wiring. I'm not sure how well the camera's picking this up, but with mat kits you might need to get some coils. These are by Wave. They come in different sizes. I believe that is a 1.5 spring, and that just connects from the back of the arm to the actual power point for the laser. You're gonna need one of those. Also, what you're gonna need is some wire. If you look at the back of the kit, they have wires that must feed the back of the legs. I've used yellow. The ones in the book, the instruction manual, are black. You need 4. Basically, you're just going to get a pin vise and drill 4 holes in the back. Oh, look at that nasty seam line. I've noticed with mat kits when I build them, I tend to get a bit lazy on the back bit. Obviously, you're not going to really see it, but it doesn't really matter. And they just hook inside there. The next part, this part I'll talk about. There is a wire that feeds from the laser cannon, and it feeds all the way down into the power point. Now, what I did is, I know a few of my friends have done this differently. I used 2 very thin brass rods, and I bent them into a loop. And I just drilled obviously 4 holes and fed that through. These are going to be painted up black, and that just feeds into there. The one in the book or the instruction manual, they're not like, they don't use these metal pins. They use like kind of like rectangular shaped welding marks, which I wasn't keen on. I just thought it looked shit, to be honest. So I changed that. Now, going on to springs, all mat kits have power that goes from the main frame of the body into the legs. Now, I know there's me and a few mat builders that are going to talk about this. Well, basically, I don't like using the ones that come with the kit. Reason is, 1 is they're horrible to clean up. 2, they just look flimsy and crap. And 3, I think just using real metal coils looks a lot more authentic and more realistic, to be fair. And they just feed into those 2 holes there. So that's the wiring. I'm going to quickly show you how to do the wiring. Let me... Ooh, what's that in the background? What's that in the background, guys? Right, so how you do these coils? 2.5 mil. What you want to do is get a pipe cleaner, preferably black, and you're just going to feed that through. and it'll make this a lot more rigid. And also the other purpose of this is to actually so you can actually shape this coil springs. I used to have mine loose, kind of like freeway, but just for this build and showing you guys the mat kit, I thought I'd just show you how to do this method. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna put that in that end and feed it through the hole in that end. Now this hole is a bit of a bar steward, to be fair, and that should maybe have, I mean, you could glue this in if you want. There, and you're left with that. Obviously that doesn't marry up to the other side, so you know you can bend it into a shape. If you look at the box out of this kit, it actually is slightly bent. I haven't used any glue. You know, these bits here I've knocked. You can readjust this once you've got it on your diorama or your base or whatever. These top parts are not glued in. And also what I've done is, if you can see at the bottom of this foot, is I've actually added some magnets. Reason is so that when I have this on the diorama, as you can see in the background, which I will talk about in a minute, I'm going to have magnets underneath here. Reason is so I don't have to drill holes or anything. I can actually move this figure around the wooden base or this plastic space base, and I'm not stuck to one central point or whatever position I want it in. This base here is the beta version of what I want to do on this kit after. One last thing actually, and this has been drying out, you want an antenna. Brass rod, I used some metal primer by Mr. Hobby, and it should be dry now. And this aerial or antenna just fits in there. You need to obviously drill a hole in there, and it should be quite snug, and it should be looking like this. Obviously I'm going to paint that antenna black, but we are just about there, guys. It's been a real fun build so far, but the next challenge is going to be the diorama. So it should look like this, and then don't forget you've got that hinge that fits inside the suit. Now what we're going to do is use oils and pigments. I normally use the MIG pigments, and I'll be doing that after the oil session. And what you need is, you can use your own oils by Winsor Newton or any other paint company, or you can use these oil brushes, which I really like. And the main colors I'll be using today are the rust, obviously, red primer, and dark brown. I'm going to see how this goes, but obviously I'm going to have to wait for the curing time. So what else are you going to need? And I couldn't get MIG's product, unfortunately, but it's odorless thinner for enamel products, but it'll work with these oil pens. Now with rust streaking, as you can see, I've already put some rust streaks on there, which are quite faint. It's the word I would use, faint. Now I don't want this kit to be overly done with rust, okay? I want to pick out a few certain areas to just to highlight the rust even more. I don't want it all over the kit. I don't want it to look like a frigging goldfish by the end of it. So I'm just gonna pick out certain bits, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some of this oil paint stuff, this oil brusher, give it a good shake, and I'm just gonna dot wash this. And you only need a tiny amount on it, by the way. And I'm gonna find some spots that I might wanna rust up. I'm just doing a dot there at the moment. That's all you need. Where else can I have a? You want it so it's kind of balanced. Maybe have some heavy rust in there. Maybe so I can balance this out. Maybe a bit on there. Going around the side. Obviously, please remember where you put these markings. You are supposed to let this stuff dry a little bit before you do anything else. Let's have one over here, and let's have a little one here. I might have one on the back. I'm gonna have, actually I'm gonna go around this little section here, around that tubing. I want rust in there actually, and I want tiny dot there, tiny dot there. Like I said, I don't want this to be all over the kit. Sometimes you can actually overdo rust a little bit. Maybe put some on the feet. Maybe have one there. And you know what? I think that is enough for now. So I'm going to let that slightly dry off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a lighter tone. This is my method of how I do it. And I am going to add a little bit of this lighter brown just underneath. So as I'm streaking, whoa, I'm gonna get naked. The color will graduate out. As you can see, there's a bit here, a bit there, one not there. I think that was about it. And obviously around here. Now I'm going to use a little bit of track rust and just apply this pigment on here, and obviously you're going to need some pigment fixer just to hold in pigments. Right guys, I hope you enjoyed the build. The Rappoon's done, just about. Obviously I could touch up a few areas and stuff like that. I just basically went over with another coat of matte. There are some areas that might need improving, but apart from that I think it looks generally quite good. Now moving on to what I'm planned for the Beast diorama, and I'm probably going to be using this diorama for other matte kits or anything sci-fi. This is a Wave Octagon kit with a H-hanger, which has been designed by me there in terms of the configuration. This is going to be a hatch door here. Maybe you can see that very well. Put that down a bit. The matte kit will be in here. Let me take that down a little bit actually. Adjust this camera. So I'm going to be putting in, put that back up. Some LEDs. I'm going to put a security light in there, and I'm going to put a little control unit for the door, which is all going to be all LED'd up, SMD'd. It's going to be a very white finish to this, very kind of like alienish, like the movie. And I have the security camera up there, dashboard for the on-off switch for the door. Gonna have some more lighting in, maybe here, and I'm gonna put this on a wooden base, so it should look fairly cool. Now I'm not quite sure, because I need to tell a story in this diorama, what figure I'm gonna have. I do have this Mark Honnewitz figure, which might look pretty nice. It's a girl there, so I might have her, you know, resting against the wall or something like that. I mean, I've already prepped her up, so I mean, I might as well make use out of it. And she's got like a stance of like she's either stopping something or she's like propping herself up. So that might be in the diorama. The main issue I'm gonna have with this is actually getting stuff put on the breadboard so I can work out what lights go where. There's going to be lots of blinking going on. There's going to be timing chips involved. There's going to be sequencing involved. So I'm going to have 2 lights here, 1 light there, and then maybe some lights here. I'm not quite sure, but I've just basically put this together rough, and we shall see how this is going to turn out. So there's plenty more work to do, really, and we shall take it from there, guys. I'm really happy with this build so far. I'm wearing gloves at the moment. It came out a little bit dirtier than what I thought it would. I wasn't expecting it to come out as heavily rusted and beat up as it was. But basically, the story for this is that this suit is coming back in for repair. So I'm not quite sure if I'm going to have a diagnostics unit somewhere put in somewhere and have it linked up again with more LEDs. It's going to be quite a piece, to be fair. Doing all this background of the diorama actually won't take me that long, really. I'm just going to pre-shade it black and just do everything white, put some decals on, maybe a few dirt marks here and there. But it's not going to be super insane. The main thing that I have to work out is getting all the lighting stuff sorted out. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge. But I'd like to thank everybody who's commented, and Facebook people, Instagram, who have seen this build so far. It's like I said, mat kits are really cool. If you haven't built a mat kit before, I advise you doing one at some point in your modeling life, and just have fun with it, guys. And I'll be doing a next build video of the electronics that I'm gonna have in here, and the diode base will be next. But apart from that, it's just about done. I mean, if you want to go simple, most of the mat guys, put that to the side, just have the, I mean, this is pine, but you can stain it any colour you want, or leave it pine if you want, and just have it on a base. Maybe get a little placard or something, and that's it, really, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon, guys. Thank you.